Full live coverage of the fifth round Silk Cut Challenge Cup tie. Castleford Tigers against Bradford Bulls. We're in for a treat if it's anything like the last-minute victory we saw Castleford get at Leeds 2 weeks ago. But the weather looks good, the anticipation is high, and in position for us are Richard Duckenfield, John Money and Ray French.
A move to a new stadium near the motorway on the site of the old Whitwood Colliery is considered for the future. But for the present, Castleford's home for 71 years, Weldon Road, continues to serve up that special Challenge Cup atmosphere. Over 4,000 travelling Bulls fans and up to 6,000 Castleford supporters really are testing the capacity of this tiny ground. And many other promising matches in tomorrow's fifth round ties. The amateurs from Cumbria, Ellenborough and Egremont bidding to become the first amateur club in 92 years to reach the quarter-finals. And don't forget tomorrow's match on Sunday Grandstand, that local derby, St Helens and Warrington. Not the most impressive of records in the Challenge Cup in recent seasons for Castleford, but a much-changed squad now at Weldon Road. Only Mike Ford and Dean Sampson remain from that last appearance at Wembley in '92. And Bradford looking to emulate their feat in the 40s when they visited Wembley in 3 successive seasons, but coach Matthew Elliott, he knows well it was 1949 when the trophy last returned to the city. Bradford have held the upper hand in cup meetings between these two clubs, but it's 23 years since they last met. Some of today's players weren't even born. But one man who certainly was, Richard Duckenfield, spoke to the captains and the coaches a little earlier, and he put it to the Castleford coach Stuart Raper that the draws hadn't done him any favours this season.
It's not getting any easier, but if we're going to get to Wembley, we're going to do it the hard way. And you know, although I'd probably like it, you know, a bit easier, but if it's the way it's got to be, it's the way it's got to be.
Wembley occasion is a very special occasion, and I'm certainly looking forward to having the opportunity to get back there. But we all understand to do that, we have to get over Castleford today to have any chance of doing that.
And for the players in general, do you sense that there is a real will to get back to Wembley this season and to win?
Oh yeah, there's unfinished business that hopefully complete this year.
Wembley 3 steps away, and few players in our change rooms have never been, so it's a great incentive for us, and hopefully we'll go out there and do what we can, you know, to win the game today.
But it's going to be a really hard game though.
Oh yeah, it always is down here. The people here, it's a real rugby league village, and they play with a lot of passion.
I'm very confident about the way we've prepared for this season, so in the end I'm not one for making bold statements. I prefer to see how the team performs and talk about the performance after it's finished with, not about what we're going to see.
Oh, they're still going to be up there with the best this season. You know, they're very competitive outfit. They're big, they're strong, and you know, we're going to have to really compete out there and do our hard work to get the points today.
Both teams won the Challenge Cup on 4 occasions, but Castleford coach Stuart Raper has been forced to make one change to the team he named earlier this week. Hooker Richard Russell, a very experienced player, has failed a fitness test on a knee, and youngster Danny Orr resumes in the front row. And from Bradford, well, it's that Bradford pack that's the major threat to Castleford. And I think the inclusion of Warren Jowett at prop, normally a second row, will add a little more pace up front. But the combination at half-back is what I certainly want to see, and I'm sure viewers do. Robbie Paul and Sean Edwards, the organiser and the solo artist supreme. Referee there, Stuart Cummins, and his officials just getting the Bradford side out. A lot of experience in this Bradford side. Graham Bradley, the skipper, played for Castleford here for a couple of seasons. Huge crowd here at this tiny Weldon Road ground, possibly over the 10,000 mark, and it's 4 years since we had a 10,000 crowd here at Weldon Road. Mick Ford, the Castleford skipper, once, as I said, a teammate of Graham Bradley, but no love lost here today. Castleford really sense that this may be the year of the underdog. They proved their mettle at Leeds, and all their fans have gathered here to see them do a repeat this afternoon. Barry John Mather there, the new signing from Perth Western Reds. And I don't think I've seen Mick Ford more confident. 13 years since his one and only winner's medal at Wembley. I'm sure he'd like another one to put alongside that on the mantelpiece. And And Graham Bradley, a teammate of Ford's with Castleford in the '92 Cup final, but 3 losers' medals already, providing the incentive for the big, powerful Bull skipper. No nerves, I'm sure, from the referee, the man in the middle. Stuart Cummings, certainly this 37-year-old from Widnes, used to the big occasion, in the middle at Wembley for the past 2 seasons. Excellent conditions, no snow around here at Castleford, blue sky in the background. And John, I don't think you've seen a better Castleford pitch.
No, it looks in superb condition. The atmosphere is great. It's always good to see a packed rugby league ground, and the people are just jammed in here. It's certainly going to be an exciting afternoon, and this is my first look at Bradford, and they certainly look impressive.
Sean Edwards, an exciting combination with Robbie Paul, the organiser and the maverick, John.
Yeah, I think they'll get great direction from Sean Edwards. He's a big match player, and he'll direct them around the park, and then Robbie Paul, he can do it all on his own. So it's a nice little combination, and you know, it's always tough though coming to Castleford. They always make sure you pay the price to get a win.
And a player you had as a youngster when you were last in charge at Central Park, Barry John Mather.
Barry John Mather, he's certainly a big one, and played very well against Leeds.
So the 5th round of the Silk Cut Challenge Cup underway. And straight into the action, the hero of the Leeds tie with that last-minute try, Andrew Shipp. On a fancy, John, that this tackling will be fierce.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very hectic start, and they're, you know, both packs are very keen to take each other on, and we usually get a penalty in the first set of 6, so, you know, there it is, and it takes the pressure off. Castleford will get out of their half, and they'll be able to mount their first attack.
Now, this is interesting, John. Their Bulls are rolling the Castleford man on his back, and that's to delay tactics, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just to slow the play the ball down, but you know, it's a judgment call from the referee. How long do you roll them over for?
But players do put them on the back, don't they, in order to get their defence back?
Well, I think most coaches like to see you make a good tackle and the opposition to end up on his back.
And it's a penalty already, but offside. So Mr. Cummings right away insisting that he wants a good wide gap, and it's going to be an attempt at goal. James Lowe's the man adjudged to be offside, the hooker, and certainly conditions underfoot ideal for kicking. I really don't think I've seen this Weldon Road pitch with more grass on. And it's Brad Davis to take the shot. He was telling me when he was a youngster in Australia, he watched via BBC TV the Castleford Wembley final against Hull KR in '86, and he watched that little man Jamie Sandy score the try in the corner. And now here he is, possibly on the way to Wembley himself. Brad Davis. 2 goals against Leeds in the previous round.
I don't think it's surprising, Ray, to see the referee blow the whistle a little bit early. They both look like they're very big packs. They're both fired up. They're ready for the contest, and you know, I thought we'd see a little bit of whistle early in the match, and you know, 2 penalties to Castleford to put them in a scoring position, and you know, they could take the lead in the match here.
Brad Davis with the first chance of 2 points. Well, once again, referee Cummings has to put his hand in the air. He has to inform the timekeeper in the stand to take his finger off that watch. And the wind, it's a very strong wind, isn't it, John? It really is playing havoc with that ball. Yeah, there's plenty of wind coming down the pitch here, and the Bradford side, they're looking into the wind. They're looking into the sun, and they've got the wind in their face. So Davies then with the attempt, and it's successful. Castleford then, an early lead against the mighty Bradford Bulls, and those supporters happy. There's a real buzz here at Weldon Road. 2-0 for Castleford already.
Yeah, he hits the ball really well. It doesn't look like missing, and it's a good start for them. They've got off to a good start. They've picked up 2 points, and Now they gain field position by the kick.
We were talking earlier, John, you and I, before kick-off, and it's significant that Bradford have actually named 4 forwards on the substitutes bench.
Yeah, I think they're not trying to disguise their intentions. They're going to try and pound Castleford up the middle.
Rehana, Anderson, Nicol and Donoghue, the men on that bench, ready to come on and do battle. But it's Bradford now using the power down the right-hand side. And that's a high tackle.
Yeah, first time I saw it, I thought it looked like a really nice shot. There's plenty of body contact there, but a bit of a swinging arm, and he threw it over the top. We see it here. He comes out, hits a player, nice side on. Not a lot in it.
Not a lot in it, but 30 yards gained. Bradford then on the attack. Edwards to Bradley. Wants the centre. Now a second row. Still Edwards at first receive, but organising the midfield. McNamara, good pass inside there to Forshaw. Nice step off his left foot there. Robbie Paul. Oh, good play from Paul. These are the characteristics we mentioned about Paul and Edwards, already coming to the fore. Bradford! Oh, 28 there! Stuart Spruce just at the side of the post. Mr. Cummins is just consulting whether it's a try or not. He's giving the try. Spruce, the fullback, surprising everybody, linking up. But it came after that run from Robbie Paul that pulled the defence together. There was a gap, and Stuart Spruce found it. 4-2 for Bradford.
Yeah, Robbie Paul set this up. He gets a little confused there, kicks out the wrong side, and defensively Castleford were too wide either side of the play the ball, and you know, you've only got to give them a little bit of space that close to the line, and you pay the price.
Steve McNamara, he's had a little tuition this last couple of weeks off Dave Allred, the kicking guru who's helped both league and Union internationals. Let's see if it's been effective. Oh, it hasn't. It hasn't. He hits the crossbar. A bad miss from McNamara.
Certainly was. Here we see the try again, Ray. There's just a little bit of space there at the edge of the ruck, and good strength. He gets down nice and low and gets over the line.
When you've got a ruck on your line, John, you've really got to wedge together around it, haven't you, the defenders?
Yeah, well, you certainly don't want them to score one off the ruck. Both sides have scored in their first 2 possessions, Ray. They've taken the ball down the field and scored before their set of 6, as did Castleford. So the first game that we saw was nice, tight, and very good defence in it. This game looks a little looser.
Well, and it's Richie McKelder, the big, strong number 8, and here's that kick. Well, got back to the action, and it's Mike Ford using that blustering wind, testing Stuart Spruce. Well, now then, has Spruce come up with the ball, or has Danny Orr got it? No, it's Spruce. And Vicona, the new signing from Hull, doing well, coming in, taking the pressure off the Bradford pack. Vicona, top try scorer last year. And here we see that kick hitting the crossbar. Jowett. And Richard Duckyfield, as usual, down there on the bench. Any news, Richard?
Well, Ray, it was noticeable in the build-up to that Bradford try, the influence of Sean Edwards, really. The ball passed through his hands twice in the move. Short, safe passes, very astute play, and, of course, the try by the post. So Sean Edwards directing operations, as we said, for Bradford Bulls.
Certainly Bradford playing the power game down the middle here. Castleford desperate in defence in these early stages. Lowe's wanting to quick play the ball. Out to Bradley. Bradley switches inside to McCallan. Again, a centre, but a 15.5-stone centre on that 5th tackle. Sean Edwards again. Good short pass, but that was a good tackle. Crisp, defence-splitting pass almost from Sean Edwards.
Yeah, they're asking the question of the Castleford defence. That was the last tackle then, and they elected to run the ball and really put a strong run and a strong runner onto the defence, and the defence held. It was good play on both sides.
Talking about defences, John, just look at that Bradford defence there, how closely they pack into the centre of the field.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, you only want to defend 2/3 of the field, and Bradford's got the size, and they've certainly got the power, and you know, they'll be very hard to crack down the middle.
Castleford then weather the storm. Danny Orr, who took a heavy knock in the early stages of that Leeds Cup tie, now well. And it's Brad Davis testing Bradford down there, Nathan Graham in particular. Plenty of experience at full-back, Graham, so he'll be used to high kicks like that. McDermott knows only one way, Brian McDermott, straight forward. At pace, like this man, Forshaw. John Edwards then, taking control once again. Ooh, not with the best of passes this time. A little bit of a misunderstanding there, John, with his runners.
Yeah, a little bit of a misunderstanding. Sean thought the player was going to stay on the outside, and he dropped off to the inside run.
Jason Critchley. Sampson. Mather, good play. You can feel some of these tackles up here, John.
Yeah, very good defence then. They're not missing each other.
Danny Orr moving well down the blind, and a nice slip pass inside there. Mike Ford and Davis to Vowles. He's got some space out wide, and in Vowles, good cover. Good cover tackle. Castleford did well to get that ball back. Forward, that short pass to Davis. Delicate makes a kick, it's missed by Bradford. Oh, it's picked up there. Robbie Paul doing well there to be in that sweeper role, John.
Yeah, it was just a little bit of luck you need. It was a deflection there, and as we know, those deflections can go in any direction. So there's a little bit of luck involved, and you know, nice little slips catch.
Certainly Castleford were going through for it. Got an offside decision against Castleford. Mr. Cummins just delaying play whilst the Castleford side get back to the 10 metres. And McDermott again. Sean Edwards. Always a hostile reception for Edwards from teams and their fans. McNamara. Again, Bradford using down the short side and bringing Stuart Spruce through once again. Certainly Spruce is coming in a lot at full-back, John.
Yeah, every time they seem to string a couple of passes together, Stuart Spruce is on the end. This is quite a tester here.
Well, that will be a knock-on. There we see.
He knocked the ball forward with his hand. It's a handover to Castleford.
Castleford just need to lift their game to get this ball in that Bradford half. Can't afford to let this big pack of Bradfords linger for too long around here. Mike Ford. Nice pass to Barry John Mather. Oh, he gets it away well. Richard Gay, he's got the full-back to beat. Edwards is covering across field. Oh, that's superb cover tackle from Edwards and Stuart Spruce. But that's better from Castleford, and holding down there, I think. It's going to be a sin bin. Sean Edwards, to me, holding down. No hesitation whatsoever from Mr. Cummings, never afraid to make a controversial decision. And Sean Edwards off the field for 10 minutes. I think he knows what he did. He probably felt that he had to commit that professional foul. Bradford's defence was all at sea. A quick play of the ball, and they could have been in trouble, John.
Yeah, it was. Back up the field, Vinocola was the player. You know, he came in off his wing.
Castleford electing to have a look at the try. Oh, they lose the ball and the chance goes begging. Mike Forshaw picks it up and Bradford, in the shape of McDermott, come away. Jowett.
Well, they certainly weathered the storm, and you know, Castleford, they weren't afraid to try and go down the middle. A nice little set piece down there where they tried to go right down the middle of the ruck and couldn't hang on to the football.
This Bradford side really prepared intensely over the off-season in the winter. Trip to Lanzarote for all the players, and a trip to the Philadelphia Eagles Football Club for Matthew Elliott, the coach, to pick up a little of the action. And it's certainly paying off. Excellent kick there. Graham Bradley, new skipper this year, leading from the front.
Yeah, that's a great set of 6 tackles and a great result after a very good 6. They came off their own try line. They played it nice and tight. They just got the ball forward and kicked the ball on the second last tackle, and they end up, you know, Castleford have got 90 metres of grass in front of them now.
And there we see the difference, John, in the pack weights. Stone and a half nearly.
Stone and a half a man, it's a lot. They might wear them down later in the game, and I'm sure that's their intentions.
And that was offside, and a further 10 metres for back chat to the referee. Quick play the ball from Mick Ford. Ooh, James Lowe certainly scuffed him around the neck and put him down rather harshly there. Sampson. Castleford attacks then being met with fierce resistance from Bradford. McKell. Signing from near neighbours Wakefield Trinity. Danny Orr, good play by Orr, just couldn't get the ball away. Ford, running at the heart of the defence. Brad Davis, oh, Brad Davis, he's through. Magnificent effort. Wonderful combination by the half-backs. Ford ran at the heart of the Bulls' defence, and Davis was on hand to pick up his 5th try in 14 appearances. Tremendous understanding between the two of them.
Yeah, Mike Ford took the ball right up to the line and gave Davis a short ball. Great on his feet, good step. Stepped off the right foot, stepped off the left foot, and in under the posts.
Good from Mike Ford initially, John.
Yeah, Mike Ford thought he was going to look like he was going to take the ball to the line, and kicked out at the last minute and put Brad Davis in a little bit of space to the outside. He hit the hole really nicely, kicked up his left foot there a couple of times, and you know, it's a good way to score a try. As I said, they had 90 yards of grass ahead of them. They've just covered the 90 yards and picked up one between the posts.
He certainly had a lot to do, Davis, when he received that ball, and a lot to do here. Another 2 points needed for Castleford. But you know, John, more than anyone, as a coach, what a problem it is when a player is sent to the sin bin. When you're a man down in the modern game, you can have tries scored against you, can't you?
Yeah, well, it's you know, it's the ultimate price to pay for holding down when you get that card, and you know, it means 10 minutes in the sin bin. So you know, everybody's just got to do a little bit extra in defence, and great goal kick, and it makes the miss down the other end now look a little bit expensive.
The flags flutter in the breeze. And here we see the beginning of the 6 point. It's that run by Mike Ford. He draws a couple to him, and then a lovely angle job.
Yeah, he came back to the ball and hit the space between the two defensive players, and you know that they ended up trying to make arm tackles, and that's always difficult when you get a guy that can really run the football.
Castleford then taking advantage of that sin binning of Sean Edwards. He's been in the sin bin for 5 minutes, so another 5 minutes with Bradford down to 12 men. Good tackling from Castleford, forcing the men back, and they've even come up with the ball. Play on, says Mr. Cummings. McKell. And 60% there, John, for Castleford. That tells the story.
Well, I'm sure when they went into the game, you know, they had intentions to run Bradford around, and they found some more space up the middle.
Oh, and here's a chance there. 21, Gail Talek. Talek, the French international, is in there. Tremendous effort. He came from nowhere. And showing speed for a second row forward. The Castleford fans can hardly believe it. Castleford increasing that lead. The man from Tonnein in France.
Yeah, it was a great run. He found a little seam up the middle, and again they're paying the price for that one man down in defence. Mike Ford, beautiful ball inside to Gale. He finds a hole, then he steps the fullback.
Good pass inside too from Mike Ford. Took the Bulls' defence by surprise, but didn't he show some pace, John?
Yeah, good pace, good acceleration, and it's starting to look like a very expensive sin bidding for Sean Edwards.
It really is. 2 from 2, and not the most difficult of kicks to come. Looking from 3 from 3. Brad Davis. Davis really having trouble with this strong, blustering wind. The problem is the ball is perched so high on that mound of sand, but he's not bothered. That mound allows him to get the instep underneath and allows him to put that ball over the crossbar, and another 2 points. Well, 14 points to 4. What a costly sin binning has Sean Edwards been. There he goes. Talek, pass 1, pass 2, and over the line. Great pace from the Frenchman. And again, that ball blows over. Bruce to Forshaw. Paul Anderson, the substitute, coming on. Huge man. Again, Bradford trying to bludgeon their way down the middle, and successfully at the moment. This time with McDermott. Bradley. And there is Paul Anderson. On the 5th tackle, McNamara with a delicate kick to the corner. Tests Richard Gay. Jason Flowers, young fullback from the Red Hill Amateur Club. Castleford using this blind side quite a lot, John.
Yeah, they're going down the short side quite a bit. Now, they're picking up their yardage as well.
Forward. Nice slip inside to manage on Manor. His goal! Thought he was away there, but an ankle tap by Danny Peacock just brings the big man down. Forward to Davis. Another high one for Graham. Takes it well. Oh, takes it beautifully and beats two men. Excellent play there from Nathan Graham.
Yeah, he caught that ball very well. It was a difficult ball to catch. It was up, swirling around in the wind. They move around a little bit in the air and didn't take his eye off it.
And Paul Anderson really going at a speed of knots down there in the middle. And Richard Duckyfield down there.
Yes, with Francis Maloney on the Castleford bench. Francis, you've clocked up a decent few points while Bradford have been down a man.
Yeah, we have. I mean, as I say, Sean got Simbin for holding down. We made a good break down the right. We're capitalising it, and so we keep it rolling, keep pushing them back. As I say, we're completing our sets of 6, which is
a high tackle. He may have missed the target, but no doubt about it, that was intended above the neck. Mr. Cummins doing right there, John.
Yeah, I think so. If we have a look at this replay, intense, the word that springs to mind.
Bradford again using that short side of Peacock. Bradley did well there to switch it back. Castleford almost taken away. Oh, the big man Anderson charging at Clover. But he's held up. 17 stone of pure muscle there, Anderson, held up by Michael Smith. So near, yet so far. And it'll be a scrum down on that 10-metre line. I often think, John, it's a little unfair that if you've been held up over the line, you know, you should have the ball and head again.
Yeah, I think the rule's intending to give the advantage to the attacking side.
Yep.
And you know, usually if you can put together 2 sets of 6s.
Edwards back on field again.
The try results.
There is Sean Edwards.
We're in a little bit of trouble out wide over on this on the left side here, but Castleford have just had the chance to readjust.
I think they're in a little bit of trouble about the size of this Bradford pack at the moment. Again, Bradford trying to squeeze over around the ruck, but look, just notice how that wedge there is with the Castleford defenders. They've learned the lesson from that first try. Oh, and out wide here now. Back inside to Bradley. Loses the ball. But that was good covering across field by Castleford, John.
Certainly was, and you've got to give the Castleford defence a pat on the back. There was plenty of resolve there. They hung in there. They kept them out for 6 tackles and then came up with the error.
And on the Castleford bench, Richard McKell is there with nose damage. It's bleeding profusely. He's actually in the blood bin to the right of the picture. But McKell was asked if his nose was broken. He said, "No, mate, I know what a broken nose is like. This is a mere scratch."
Well, I know what a broken nose is like too. I think we might see Richard McKell again. Bradley, Robbie Paul. And Paul really does need to get himself into this game, John, to prize his way through a few gaps.
Yeah, it's noticeable that he's been out of the action for quite a long time, and you know, they do need to get the ball in his hands as much as possible.
Playing a much wider game this season, Paul, with Edwards in charge in the middle. Forshaw does well to shrug off a couple of tackles there. Back to Edwards. Sean Edwards again. Paul outside him. Lowe's wanting to quick play the ball. He wants to get down that blind side. And I think he's brought it to the referee's attention. A little bit of consternation as to whether they go for goal, but no, said the skipper Bradley. Puts it back to McDermott. McDermott to Edwards. This is looking promising out wide here now. Forshaw. 8 metres from the Castleford line. Lowe's, well held by Michael Smith. Sean Edwards. The short pass. Oh, it's Spruce again, held up there. Tremendous defence again by Castleford. Spruce held up on his back. What I was saying, John, I think that, you know, if defenders have held out and they managed to put a man on his back, I think they should have the advantage.
Yeah, well, there's two sides of the story, isn't there, Ray? You know, the way the rule is now, they're giving the advantage to the attacking side. As I said, it keeps everybody on their toes. You know, if you're impartial in this game, you do want to see the ball in the hands of the side that's got the good field position. Not that we're impartial.
Bradford certainly using down this left-hand side. This is where all the attacks are coming. This is where Spruce is linking up. Moving it out wide now. Peacock. Intense pressure on this Castleford line, but Castleford leading. Lowe's again. Chancing his arm there from the acting half-back position. A metre from the line. Edwards. Not the best of passes. Adrian Bowles clings to it for dear life. A huge roar of relief from the Castleford fans over there.
And again, they survive, Ray. It's certainly exciting rugby league, and the defence from Castleford has been outstanding.
Bradford in possession, 59%, John, yet trailing.
Yeah, they have, and they've, as I said, they've had good field position with that possession. So you know, you've got to have a look at the other side of it and say, well done, Castleford. They've tackled very, very well, but an unforced error there, and they're under pressure again.
Danny Ellison come on the field for Gail Tallick and Castleford, and Sonny Nicholl just coming on down as Robbie Paul breaks away beautifully down that right-hand side. That's the solo running, the jinking brilliance of Robbie Paul. Sonny Nicholl. Still the pressure on this Castleford line. Forshaw. Nicholl on for McNamara. Edwards has a lot of support out wide, but Bradley takes the short route to the line. Oh, he's held up again. Bradford must wonder, what do they have to do to put the ball over that line? Interference.
I think they could keep holding out, Ray. There's lucky not to get a yellow card here. You know, a player's got to roll out of the way there, the player at the back. Bradley's taken a little bit of a dive, I feel. Well, they're going for the 6 points again.
And they're using that big man Anderson. James Lowe's tried to spot a gap himself. Gets it back to McDermott. But still these Castleford defenders come. Schick is in there. McKell's in there. So is Sampson. Tremendous courage. But here's a chance. Oh, it's closed again is the gap. Bradford. Bradley. Good long pass to Bradley. But it's intercepted. Good anticipation by Richard Gay. I think he thought he was going to be pulled up for offside, but not so, said Mr. Cummings.
Just a touch of frustration in that little bit of play then, and you know, they've been down there for a long time, haven't been able to get over the line, and now it's their turn to defend.
And games have a tendency to change, John, don't they, when you've been under such pressure?
Well, a lot of times when teams attack and attack and attack and can't get over the line, you see a try down the other end of the field.
A forward for a forward. Sensible kick there by Mike Ford. Along the ground, bouncing, bobbling. Sends the Bradford back to their own line. And after all that pressure, after all that time on attack, John, they must be wondering, you know, what do we do?
Yeah, well, I think we saw the result of that wondering up the other end when they went for the long speculator, threw it over the top, and it was intercepted. the one thing we learned about Castleford over at the Leeds game was that they are very well disciplined. Mentally, they're very tough. They can hang in there and give themselves or put themselves in a position where they can win a close game.
Edwards. Spruce. Again, good tackle there from Orr. Graham not trusting himself to pass the ball so near to this line. Lowe's. McDermott getting through a lot of work. Edwards to Robbie Paul. Paul, as we thought, moving out wide, looking for the gaps. Edwards much closer, sending the forwards through. Was that round the neck? Not so, says Mr. Cummings. Heavy traffic here in midfield. 1-to-1. Can steal the ball. Edwards again. To Robbie Paul. Paul now with space. He's got by corner down this left-hand side. Oh, he can move this lad. Oh, back inside to Edwards. It's still going. Spruce, foreshore. And still that line is held. Peacock trying to slice his way through there. Castleford scrambling back. Castleford looking to go over there. James Lowes again close to the ruck area, spotting a gap and twice close to the line. Bradford have taken advantage of slack marking around the play the ball. It had to come. 4 points.
Yeah, we see a couple of players here. They're intent on putting a big hit on him, and you know, good feet, spins out of it to the inside, or it's a ricochet. He bounces off the tackles and bounces back to the inside, where the inside player fails to clean him up.
I think what's interesting there, John, was the height of Barry John Mather. You know, 6'7" James Lowes was able to duck underneath him, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, you're about to deliver a blow like that. You want to be down low, and James Lowes got down underneath him and used the deflection to spin back to the inside.
And Lowes assuming the goal-kicking duties in the absence of Steve McNamara. Quite a regular kicker at Leeds and at Bradford. But he's missed that one. It's all smiles on the Castleford faces at that miss, but certainly not at this try.
Quite an important score just before half-time too. It's you know, defences and certainly the Castleford defence that's done a lot of work do tend to get tired, and that 5 minutes before half-time is so critical.
14-8 then to Castleford. Less than 3 minutes remaining in this first half. High tackle. And Mr. Cummings wanting a word with Anderson. Oh no, that's a bad tackle. And Andrew Schick certainly taken a heavy knock there. Blood around the nose and the mouth area.
Yeah, you see him here, he ducks back to the inside, catches the big guy on the wrong foot. He's got to throw an arm out, and it's above the shoulders.
And you know, John, we get people sent to the sin bin for technical offences for lying on at the tackle. Yeah, does that not warrant 10 minutes in the sin bin?
Well, I'd say if he did it again, it'd probably warrant a send-off. But you know, you've got to stop the professional foul, particularly with teams in good attacking positions.
Well, Mr. Cummings been very even in his treatment of the two sides so far. Ford trying to put the ball inside. All did well to pick up. Adrian Vowles, the former South Queensland player, spots a gap. He's got plenty of pace, this lad. Not quite enough. Just held there outside that 20-metre area. Sampson. Hint of a sidestep there from Dean Sampson. Forward. Fouls again. Schick. On the fifth tackle. Mike Ford. Edwards just taking care of that grubber kick.
Yeah, I thought it was a very poor kick. It wasn't competitive. They had plenty of success with the bomb at Leeds, and you know, their two kicks here, they've tended to put them along the ground.
But the kick does keep Bradford down here, John, doesn't it?
Certainly does, but I think you're a better chance to get one back if you stick it up in the air, especially from inside that 10 metres, 20-metre area.
McCallan. Paul looking to cut inside Barry John Mather there. Play on, says Mr. Cummings. Well, the ball or the hand or the elbow must touch the ground if the tackle is to be made. And the penalty against Barry John Mather there for lying on at the tackle. A little bit of frustration, I think. Into stoppage time now. Bradford would certainly be delighted if they could pick up some more points before that half-time hooter. Bradley. Well, he's lost the ball.
That was a good steal, one-on-one, and just went in with intent to steal the ball off the bigger player, and was successful.
And there we see Robbie Paul with those attacking runs out wide, John. That's what he's there for, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm surprised. He hasn't turned up outside Sean Edwards a lot. He seems to be two players removed, so he's not playing exactly beside Sean Edwards, and it gives them both an opportunity to be in the play.
Beautiful ball. Critchley going down the wing there, and superb play for Danny Ellison. Castleford in for a try. Magnificent effort down that left-hand side. Came out of nothing. And no wonder there are 6,000 or 7,000 Castleford supporters roaring on their favourites. This side, well, is looking to be Wembley bound. 18 points to 8, and we haven't had the half-time hooter yet.
Yeah, this was certainly good play. He gets across to the outside and just loops the ball around that centre. Draws the last line of defence and puts Danny Ellison away. If Danny Ellison can do one thing good, it's score tries. He's scored a lot of tries at Wigan, and it's good to see him get over here in his debut game for Castleford.
And it's that pass from Brad Davis that launches Castleford down the left there in the shape of Critchley. But the pace there of Ellison, John, that tells.
Yeah, great. It's great to see wingers that can run tries in, and Danny's always had very good pace, and as I said, he scored a lot of tries at Wigan, and good to see him score one here today.
Well, I remember a hat-trick from him in one of the Premiership finals. Davis then, with the attempted conversion. And Stuart Raper must be a very, very happy man at this stage, the Castleford coach. He's not too happy, is he? He's fuming. Wembley means a lot to him. 10 appearances at that famous stadium, and neither is Matthew Elliott, the Bradford coach, happy. He's put a lot of preparation into this game. And Bradford Bulls are in trouble. Davis will take his time. We expect the hooter to go almost as soon as this ball goes over the crossbar or underneath it. Davis just checking the last look, just getting his sights together. Round the corner style, and it's successful. Another 2 points for Castleford. Tremendous first half performance from the Tigers. Leading Bradford Bulls at half-time, 20 points to 8. Wonderful action in this first 40 minutes and plenty more to come.
Tremendous first. Weldon Road with Bradford, the finalists, the last couple of years in some trouble, but they'll be determined to turn things round in the second half as they trail Castleford by 20 points to 8. We're back with our commentary team of Richard Duckenfield, John Money and Ray French.
10,000 fans here, Steve, anticipating the final 40 minutes. 20 points to 8 for Castleford. Can they hold on, John?
I don't know, Ray. I think, you know, the way the first half started with the 2 or 3 penalties to Castleford trying to bring the ball out, well, it's just started the same way. So I'd say Bradford are the side that can, you know, they could wear a side down, but Castleford are tackling very well.
Sean Anderson on the charge. Bradley. Edwards to Forshaw. Forshaw resisting the tackles there well. Gets it back to Lowe's. Lowe's to Edwards again. Sonny Nicol loses the ball, but Bradford pick it up. Edwards again in the thick of things. Good long pass to Paul. Bradley. Ball again. Good play to Peacock. Peacock racing through, and Penny Peacock is over. Well, Bradford Bulls strike back just at the right time, and 12-point deficit at half-time is not an insurmountable problem for Bradford. I'm sure we'll have a few twists and turns before we get a result here. 20 points to 12, and the Bulls back in the game, John.
Yeah, they certainly are, and he hit this ball at a beautiful angle. He came back to the ball, caught everybody on the wrong foot, and certainly a great way to start the second half for Bradford. You see now the angle of the run back when he takes this ball and he catches everybody that's trying to push towards the sideline. A great run and a great start for Bradford.
He certainly knew what he was doing. He put his head back, he looked at that line, and he got there. James Lowe's then now with a kick, and a lot of pressure on this kick. Bradford have been missing their goals. He needs these 2 points, and he gets them. The flags go high there. The cup is held aloft. It's only the 5th round, but Bradford could be back on that Wembley trail.
You see Robbie Paul here, he just doubles around the outside of Bradley, and then it's the angle of this run here that set the try up, caught the defenders on the wrong feet.
Nice offload too from Bradley to Henry Paul, John.
Yeah, beautiful set piece. I think if I was coaching or playing at Castleford, and most certainly if Sean Edwards was playing for Castleford, first time they get down there, they'll have a look at a one-pointer out with, you know, Mike Ford.
And just look at that statistic, 26 passes given. He's in at the hub of things, isn't he? He's organising, as we said.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's a very good player at doing that.
The short passes to the forwards, the long passes out to the flanks. But here's some good passing down this left-hand side. Castleford. McKell. Yep. Charge down there, into touch. Scrum down, 20 minutes, and Danny Ellison. John, at risk of spoiling a friendship, dare I mention that you was the man who sold Danny Ellison and Gail Torrick to Castleford, 2 try scorers.
Yeah, there's a couple of answers there, Ray. One is that they were part of our first grade squad, and they were quite welcome to stay. The second part is we've got to do everything we can to get under that salary cap.
Stuart Bruce then. And there is Gail Torrick, the Frenchman. Bradford really coming very, very strong now. Lowes playing a significant part attacking half-back, that man, James Lowes. Bradley. Back to the substitute forward, Tahi Rehana. Forshaw. Lowes again. Paul gets it to Vicona. Not had many chances to beat a Vicona. 40 tries last season, though, at the top of the lists. Edwards finds Bradley. Kick to the corner. Just a little too hard. But that was well intended by the big second row.
It was very important they weathered that storm. They were under a fair bit of pressure there, and you know, it was over the back line as soon as he kicked the ball. It was way too hard, but you know, as I said, important that Castleford weathered the storm.
Schick. Fouls. Good weaving run there from the centre. Forward. Brad Davis. Barry John Manor, will he go it alone? No. Loses the ball. Bradford player receiving some urgent treatment there. Vowles cutting through, and Peacock in the tackle. There we saw, took a knock to the head, accidentally, and really in some pain. The physiotherapist right on the spot, dealing with the matter. And referee Stuart Cummings doing right to stop the play. A referee doesn't have to stop the play in rugby league for an injury. He can let the injured player receive attention while play continues, but on this occasion, good sense prevailing.
I think he might have copped the finger in the eye, Ray. You know, as soon as it happened on the replay, we had a look at it, and there's a little bit of blood on the side of his nose, and you know, he could have copped a finger or two in the eye.
I think you might be right there, John. There was some considerable blood about. There we see Vowles going down. Well, I can't quite tell what he did catch there, but he certainly, something caught him. And he has gone to the blood bin. Oh, no need for this. Bradley there and Danny Orr having a little bit of a punch-up between them. Tempers flaring here now.
The real problem here is that it's illegal to, you know, it's illegal to get your hands in there between a player's legs and lift him. You know, it's a very dangerous practice and should be penalised straight away, as you can see here. Both hands in the crutch area and they're lifting the player.
You cannot put the hand between the legs and lift the player over in a spear tackle manner like that. Bradley, right to be incensed, but no need to throw the ball at Danny Orr there. He should have left it to the touch judge, Mr. Hawley. And Mr. Cummins saying, look, leave it to me and I'll deal with the incident. Mr. Cummins just having a word with Bradley, the skipper.
Well, he's an angry man at the best of times, and there's certainly no need to upset him anymore.
He's just asking Graham Bradley to calm himself down, and he'll attend to the matter, the penalty. Anderson. Good strong bullock in front from this powerful player. What an effect he's had in midfield since he came on. And McNamara back on now. Peacock up. Nickel. And is the power of this Bulls pack beginning to tell? A stone and a half a man difference. Edwards. Forward pass. I don't actually think Sean Edwards was actually anticipating Robbie Paul to be there, John.
No, it looked like he was looking for a second man play or something like that, but you know, the pass certainly looked forward from up here.
Vowles assuming the scrum half role and proving very, very difficult to put down.
And John Money called it quite correctly. Danny Peacock back on the Bradford Bulls bench. Danny Peacock has an eye injury, as John said. He's being treated now on the bench by the Bradford doctor. It doesn't, though, look all that serious, so Danny Peacock may have something further to play on this game.
Castleford edging their way out from that 20-metre area, but they don't want to lose the ball like that. Sorry, and there is Danny Peacock receiving attention to that eye injury.
They just look like a side, Bradford, that are starting to wear them down, and you know, you wouldn't want to be a couple of points ahead of them, I don't think, with 10 minutes to go. They're very big, very powerful.
Vicona. Good burst through by Vicona. Powerful Tongan. Beats another man down that left-hand side with good cover tackle. Adrian Vowles tracked him all the way, but still the Bulls are on the run. They're moving forward now. Bradford on the attack. Edwards. Anderson checking the simple route. Good tackle there from Talik. McNamara, good ball to Paul, just couldn't quite get through. Still relentlessly Bradford come forward. Sean Edwards going for that line! Bradford driving forward. McNamara inches away. And Jason Flowers hugs that ball, then come away from the acting half-back position here. Castleford will slow the game down. They'll come away here at first receiver. And there is Danny Peacock. Doubtful whether he'll appear again on this match. Forward. Critchley. It's a nasty injury, John.
Yeah, it is. It's very painful, and you know, you just hope that it's in the, you know, that it's in the eye area. Hope there's nothing serious there.
And just look at the difference, John, in this second half. 68% there, Bradford, in that Castleford half.
Yeah, well, they started the game off with a couple of penalties, and you know, they made the possession count.
And that was a superb kick by the Castleford forward there, Andrew Schick. I don't think he was quite sure what to do, whether it was going to be the sixth tackle or not, but he certainly put the kick in.
Yeah, he kept his head, he kept his cool, and put the right sort of kick in, well executed, and good to see the forwards be able to do that sort of thing.
The Bradford fans suddenly becoming alive now behind that set of goalposts, roaring the Bulls on, but trailing by 6 points. Bradley. Robbie Paul, doing that sort of run that we saw him at Wembley a couple of years ago from the acting half-back position. Edwards carrying out the same manoeuvre. Graham. And John Money was questioning whether Castleford could withstand the power of this Bradford side. I think this is the testing period, John.
Yeah, it is. the run from Anderson earlier in the game, you know, certainly set them alight and gave them some momentum. But they're hanging in there, Castleford. They've got a 6-point lead, and, you know, as I said, I'm sure that to win this game, if they could make it 7 points in front, you know, that'd just kick them up a little bit.
But great determination from the Tigers here at Weldon Road. Tremendous advance from their own line there in a couple of tackles from Richard Gay and Ellison. Vowles. Danny Orr. Oh. Stuart Rayford down on the touchline, left his seat in the stand. He'll not be too happy with that pass there from Orr. Really, a lack of understanding between Danny Orr and Jason Critchley out there. Critchley coming inside when I think Orr wanted him to remain on the wing. Paul. Well, those two captains, those two coaches, a lot of problems going through their heads. Neither one can be certain of success, John, here today.
No, the game's very evenly poised, and, you know, it's not a good job coaching. Just magic on his feet, Robbie Paul, magic on his feet, fantastic.
Robbie Paul just taking a breather, coming more and more into prominence as Castleford begin to tire. That's a kick with plenty of pressure on. Oh! The score there for Calland! A mistake in the Castleford defence, and Matt Calland pounced on the ball, but it was the kick behind the defence that put all the pressure on. And Matt Calland, the centre, on hand to touchdown. He had a back problem last year that restricted his appearances, but no problem in getting down for this ball.
It was a kick that I felt the fullback had covered. It was in the back. The fullback was in good position. He came across, and that player there probably should have left it for the fullback. And take your opportunities when they come, though.
And Steve McNamara taking his opportunities when they come. Relief all around on the faces of those Bradford fans. Castleford 20, Bradford 20. Everything to play for here.
Yeah, good weight on the kick. Rolled it in behind the defensive line.
Yes, it's a mix-up. He picks it up well. Castleford once again playing solid, sensible rugby here, coming away with the first receiver. And coming away well, Dean Sampson, but meeting stiff resistance there. Paul can't get away from McNamara. Well, Sampson could be dispatched to the blood bin if he doesn't get rid of that. A little relief for Castleford.
Little relief for Castleford, but they have been under all the pressure. It's you know, it just looks like we've watched one football team with the football in hand, and that's been Bradford. They've put the power on, and you know, they've picked up their points in the second half.
Spruce just allowing that ball to go into touch, because of course the defending side there have head and ball at the scrum. Anderson. Forshaw. This game really coming to the boil here now. Nothing between these two sides, but Bradford just edging, I think, here at half-back with Edwards and Paul. They're setting these big forwards in motion. McNamara. Richard Gay's there, so is Jason Flowers. Richard Gay again.
Just a little bit flat-footed, Castleford, at the moment. They just need to do something to, you know, just try and lift their performance a little bit. Somebody needs to pull something out.
Sean Edwards, the driving force behind this Bradford side. Brad Davis. Oh, it's back to Castleford again. Another 6 tackles. Good play by Castleford. Davis now. And Francis Maloney, the substitute, to Danny Orr. Can Castleford hit back now? They've weathered the storm for 20 minutes of this second half. Maloney. Barry John Manor. Bradford's turn to defend. Fouls.
A little bit of space out here wide.
He's got support from Sampson. Michael Smith can't get the ball away. Ooh, he was tempted to put that one pass in. On the 5th tackle here. Looking for the drop goal from Davis. Well charged down. Play on. And we've got Vicona out there. It's all action here at Weldon Road. Good charge down by Bradford there. And a quick play the ball. It has Castleford backpedaling. Rehana on the charge. And suddenly, from their own line, Bradford are on the attack. McNamara, that's a knock-on, surely by Barry Mother.
Barry John just got a hand to that and knocked the ball on. Again, it's a Bradford feed. And again, they're in another attacking position. More pressure for Castleford. Referee's working very hard. We can hear him. He's talking to both sides, trying to keep them back 10, trying to avoid giving the penalty away.
Mike Ford, the Castleford skipper, having attention in the blood bin. They'll certainly want him back. Oh, that was an attempted punch on Robbie Paul. He's proving difficult to put down. The touch judge is on. Mr. Hawley, he spotted it. As if anybody could miss it. Brad Davis is the man. Come, Mr. Cummins, just checking with Mr. Hawley, the touch judge. And I think Brad Davis is saying a fair cop. High tackle.
Yeah, I think he can frustrate a lot of players, Robbie Paul. He's so good on his feet. Brad Davis missed him at the first shot, so he chased after him, and they're not going for the 2 points, which surprises me.
I think I would have gone for 2 points, John. I think I would have gone for 2 points.
It was a legal play from a scrum, so I think they were entitled to go for the kick.
And I'm sure the train going slowly there while the driver has a look at the action. I hope he hasn't got a tight schedule to keep. But it's Bradford on the attack. It's James Lowes driving close there, so near again. Rehana getting into the action. But he's held up. 3 or 4 times we've seen those Bradford forwards held up on the line. All credit to the Castleford defence.
James Lowe's a lot of strength, tries to get the ball down. Legs and arms.
A difficult set of 6 here now for Castleford. They need to contain the balls down this blind side. Bradley in the centre role now. He's used to that, had many seasons in that position. Edwards looks for Paul again. He's really dancing in midfield now, is Robbie Paul. This man's not dancing. Paul Anderson. Lowe's to McCallum. Sean Edwards. Sonny Nicol. And Nicol held up again. On the 5th tackle. McNamara looking for the drop goal. And he finds it. Yes, it's over the crossbar. Steve McNamara, he may have been having trouble with his place kicking, but no trouble with the drop kick. Perfectly placed for such a kick, John.
Yeah, it was, but I think if you have a look, somebody from Castleford should have been thinking drop goal, and there's no pressure goes to him. There's not a player there that goes out, makes him hurry the kick, puts a little bit of pressure on him, tries to get him off that foot. You know, it's take all the time you like, and it's a 1-pointer, puts him in front.
I think, John, the Castleford defence were expecting a big charge from Paul Anderson, who was lurking around to play the ball. A point difference. And Bradford trailing by 20 points to 8 at half-time.
And you wonder what the Bradford coach Matthew Elliott makes of that 1 point from the drop goal, because when they had the choice on the penalty, he was screaming, gesticulating furiously that Bradford should go for the 2 points. He was indicating that, he was shouting it, but they didn't. And so at the end of it, it's 1 point and no try.
And the 10,282 fans packed into this ground, absorbed with this cup tie. The biggest crowd at Weldon Road for 4 years. And they'll get bigger crowds if the games are like this. By corner. McNamara. Nicol. As John Money suggested, these Bradford forwards beginning to take the steam out of this Castleford defence. Anderson. A lot of weight training gone on in the winter over there at Odsal. McNamara. On the 5th tackle. The little kick through, but again, this time safely attended to by Danny Orr. And the 2 markers not behind each other. Well, a silly infringement there, John, that lets Castleford ease the pressure.
It does take a little bit of pressure off them, but hasn't been a good kick, so they're still down inside their 20 metres, and it seems like they've been down there for a hell of a long time.
Sampson. Not a tremendous number of penalties John conceded, considered the intensity of the game.
Yeah, plenty of intensity, and I feel the referees contributed to the fact that he's been able to keep both sides well apart, and he's worked very hard, you know, not to talk to the players and make sure that they haven't infringed.
Maloney, Vowles, good ball, he just couldn't hold it. Barry John Mather annoyed with himself there, coming in at a slight angle, just couldn't hold that ball.
It was a beautiful pass too. BJ only had to run into the hole. There's plenty of space out there, and you've got to catch those. You know, it was an unforced error. As they say at the cricket, catches in matches.
Bradley. Well, he's everywhere, isn't he? Second row, centre, and assuming the standoff role there. Significant, John. Robbie Paul going to acting half-back a lot at the moment, putting pressure around that ruck area.
Yeah, well, they certainly concentrate on the middle of the ruck in attacking the opposition, and James Lowe's been outstanding there today, and, you know, you've got more trouble if Robbie Paul comes in there.
Oh.
A lot of character in the Castleford side, though. They're a side that won't give up. We saw that before. They've weathered the storm. They keep on bouncing back, and just the slightest mistake or a little bit of good play is going to win this game.
This is good play though from it was good play from Castleford, but the last pass was not very good play from Castleford.
Yeah, they've just a little bit fortunate there, Castleford. Referee spotted a Bradford hand. They get the feed, so they've still got the football in hand, and they can keep the pressure on Bradford.
Yeah, Lee Harlan forcing the pass there, and that's the difference, John, in that second half. 70% Bradford have had. But it's Castleford's turn. Down this right-hand side, Vowles. Smith. The big Kiwi. He's used to the heavy action in New Zealand and with the Canterbury Bulldogs in Australia. Danny Orr, back to Barry John Mather. Mather striding out there, 5 metres from that line. It's Bradford's turn to defend now. Castleford. Maloney. Switches back inside to Jason Flowers! And he's got the try! Jason Flowers coming in on the short ball. The youngster from fullback breathes life into Castleford again. They withstood the challenge for 10-15 minutes on the line, and back at the other end, they're back in the lead, 24 points to 21.
Yeah, great inside ball here. Six turns it back inside, just the slightest of holes. He's got the attention of 3 tacklers there, but his strength gets him over the line. Great inside ball.
Well, John, Stuart Raper told me in midweek he's done tremendous work on the weights. Just look at the power and the determination. It's upper body strength that carries him through there.
Yeah, it was a great inside pass. Put him in a little bit of space, and then his strength took him over the line with the attention of 3 tacklers.
Well, in the programme notes he lists his favourite song as We Will Rock You. Well, he certainly rocked a few Bradford fans there. And Davis, 100% kicking record to date. Bradford certainly appearing relaxed and calm after that try. No huddle, no animation, no strong words.
No, I think you earn that sort of composure if you're good enough to win a First Division title or a Super League title. You're the champions. You've been there before. You've been in the tough battles before, as has Sean Edwards. But you know, there's plenty of composure in the Bradford side, and we'll see if they can play out a strong 80 minutes.
And composure from Brad Davis. Maintains his 100% record. And do these Castleford fans sense yet another big upset here in Yorkshire? 26 points to 21. The sound is deafening here at Weldon Road.
Great try to put them in front.
And John Raper, isn't he excited? He's sending instructions all over the shop. Anderson, less than 6 minutes remaining in this Silk Cut Challenge Cup 5th round tie. Flowers, the hero at the moment. points the difference. So trying to go for Bradford would do it. Edwards. Good cover tackle there by Dean Sampson.
Very important they don't give away a penalty rate. Castleford, they've clawed their way back into this game. They've tackled very well. They've shown a lot of courage.
McNamara with the kick. Ellison's there. And Ellison has the ball. He'll be content just to take the tackle. And a Bradford player in trouble. Looks like Robbie Paul. Seems to have had a knock here as he chased this ball.
Yeah, he's really intent on pinning Danny Ellison in the in goal. They come in, they drive. I think he's had a head clash. Sean Edwards, I'd say, over the top. Here's Robbie here. You see Sean Edwards come in. There's a clash of heads there.
Yeah, accidental, John, but nevertheless, very, very hard. They'll certainly be hoping in the Bradford camp that Robbie Paul can continue for these 5 minutes. And Brad Davis, the man of the match. Had a good game in the loose play, picked up a try in the 16th minute, and those goals. And that knock looks quite serious, John, the stretcher coming on there.
Yeah, it does. I hope he's all right. I think now, putting on my coach's hat, I think that Castleford side, they should be getting in together there behind the goalpost. They'll be saying this 6 tackles, you know, we've got to hold them out for this 6 tackles. This is where we win the game. This is where we stay in contention for the Challenge Cup.
Jeremy Donoghue just waiting for the nod. Reserve referee Mr. Connolly just asking him to wait on the sidelines while Bradford make a last check to see whether Robbie Paul will continue or not. And here we see the incident, John.
See, back of Sean Edwards going in here, number 7, and there'll be a head clash just...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And certainly Sean Edwards took a knock too. Well, Robbie Paul, I don't think, will take any more part in this action, and that's a bitter blow for Bradford.
And not ideal for the players to be stopped back. The temperature has dropped very considerably here by a number of degrees, and when players are standing around in the cold, it doesn't do them any good. Robbie Paul, not the best of luck in the Challenge Cup, really, of course. He missed it on the cup final with a foot injury last time.
Gail Talak's just stolen the ball. It could be the match winner. I know there's a fair way to go, but that sort of thing can just give Castleford the lift they might need to get them home.
A couple of minutes plus injury time remaining here. Castleford 26, Bradford 21. And just look at that, 129 tackles there made by Castleford, and a lot of those tackles made on their own line in that opening 20 minutes of the second half, John.
Yeah, it's been a magnificent defensive effort from Castleford. Actually, both sides have tackled very well. We've seen some good tries and some very tough rugby league.
Mike Ford caught in 2 minds there, but still gets a good kick in. It doesn't go into touch, but it still goes out of play. The seconds tick away. Bradford have to play that ball on the 20-metre line. Stuart Spruce injecting a little speed from behind, but the seconds are ticking down there now. Donoghue, no way through. Driving tackle there by the 2 Castleford props, Sampson and McKell. Bradley down the left-hand side. Barry John Manners across. I think everyone in the Castleford camp is on that far touchline, urging those yellow jerseys on. Edwards looking for a chink of light there. Back to McNamara. He's got Nicholl with him. Can't get the ball away. It's a knock-on. James Lowe's arguing with Mr. Cummings.
Yeah, it certainly is a knock-on. He might have been facing the other way, but dragged the ball forward with his hand.
And Bradford 11 handling errors, most unusual for such a side.
Yeah, well, they've tried to play a little bit of rugby league as well. You know, it's good to see a side trying to throw the ball around. I know they're a big, powerful side, but, you know, they've tried to play some rugby league here today and added to the spectacle.
Castleford will just want to hold on to this ball. They'll take the ball away from the acting half-back positions. Critchley doing the honours there. Here's the next man. Danny Orr and Brad Davis in at the helm there. Forward, McKell. Into injury time now. Davis again at the acting half-back position. Bowles wants a slice of the action. Mike Ford, is he looking for a drop goal? No, he's putting a high one to the corner, but it's out to play. Referee Mr. Cummings just checking with the touch judge. Did he go directly out of play into touch? I think he did. So it's a handover at the point of the kick into injury time. Seconds remaining here now at Weldon Road. Bradford slipping out of the 1998 Challenge Cup. Castleford already beaten one Yorkshire giant in Leeds. Have they beaten a second one in Bradford? It's Castleford ball. Surely now they can hold out for these final. No, he's knocked on. Mike Ford can hardly believe it. Tension. It's electric here in these final seconds. All Castleford had to do there was to hold the ball for the final sequence of 6, and Stuart Raper can hardly look. He's walking away from the action. It's back with Edwards. One last throw of the dice. Graham Bradley. Bradford desperate to keep the ball alive now. To Donoghue. He gets it to Vicona. He loses it. Picked up by Callan. Vicona. Tremendous tackle there from Dean Sampson. Nathan Graham. The Castleford defence is massed in the middle here now. They're driving the Bulls back. 2 minutes of injury time. Anderson powering through. A tremendous cup upset here at Weldon Road. Or is there? Oh, a good ball from Edwards. Forshaw can't get the ball away. 2 tackles remaining in this sequence. Knowles, Edwards trying every trick he knows. Gets it to McCallan. Callan can't get away. Graham, he's got to keep this ball in play. They've got to spin this ball around. Shoots Bruce. On the 5th tackle. 1 tackle remaining in the sequence. Back to Edwards. He has to run the ball. He gets it to Forshaw. Forshaw to Donoghue. Bradley, it's lost. Castleford will have the penalty. Offside. There we see.
I think it's lost. Certainly lost for Bradford. You know, I don't think the clock can keep ticking away. We're into 83 minutes now. Played 3.5 minutes of injury time, and surely this 6 tackles will see it out for Castleford.
It's all over. Just look at Stuart Raper. His arms are raised in the air. This coach has turned the Castleford club around, and I'm sure the odds of 25-1 to win the cup will come tumbling down. It's only their 2nd win over the Bulls in the Challenge Cup.
Stuart Raper, congratulations, Stuart. You need some strong nerves to watch Castleford games.
Hang on. Well, in all the excitement, everyone thought the game was over, but I think there's one more tackle remaining. There has to be. The ball was kicked into touch. You have to continue the play. The tap was taken, and now it is officially all over.
The game not quite over. Stuart, you need some strong nerves to watch Castleford games these days.
Yeah, I'm getting all of it. I'll tell you, I love it.
You had some heroes on that pitch. Jason Flowers, Brad Davis, some good play there.
Yeah, I got the 17 heroes today, but some of those individuals had excellent games, and you know, I'm so pleased that we've stood up to a very good high standard opposition like Bradford and come away with the win. I'm very pleased.
We must leave there swiftly with the promise of St Helens Warrington live on Sunday Grandstand tomorrow, because before final score we're going to take you swiftly to Valencia. The men's 60 metres final set to go in the European Indoor Championships. We'll join Paul Dickinson, David Coleman and Stuart Story.
Well, he reaches as we are greeting Patrick Lovegood, the Swede. He's in the 7th lane. And we've got Jason Gardner of Great Britain outside him, the British number 3 from the Bath and Wessex club, 22 years old. And the lineup is Amici of Italy from the right of your shot, Theodoridis of Greece in 2, Carli of France, a French indoor